Well, hello YouTube. It's the Earl of Pipes here, and it's a lovely Thursday night out on my back porch. Probably about 50 degrees outside tonight, and as I promised from last video, I'm going to be smoking some Missouri Meerschaum, and American Patriot is their blend. They've got several blends, but that's the one I'm trying because it's supposed to be an American or a sweet English blend. And so I'm kind of on the search for a aromatic / English / something, just something that smells good in the bag, has plenty of flavor, burns well, and that has a pleasant room note. So I've tried a few blends, and I've shared my last couple of videos have been those, and tonight I'm going to smoke some Missouri Meerschaum, and I'm smoking it in a kind of beat up old corn cob pipe that I've got. So let's talk about Missouri Meerschaum's American Patriot, and let's talk about what that entails and what it is. So it's an American English. So what does that mean? That means that it's got Virginias, it's got Black Cavendish in there, it's got some Burley in there, it's got Latakia in there. That's what makes it in English. And then they've added a Turkish Oriental of Smyrna, I believe is the way that you pronounce that Oriental leaf. I don't know. I'm sure somebody could tell me in the notes, in the comments down below, if that's not how you say it. And then they have topped it with a bourbon, Kentucky bourbon top note. I think it's got to be from Kentucky if it's a bourbon. Anyway, so it's presented in a nice little pouch. I think I bought this pouch, just 1.5 ounces, for $4 or $5 from smokingpipes.com. In the pouch itself. So one of the things that I will say about this, now with say an amphora pouch, it still seems to be somewhat sealed within its pouch, right? I wouldn't want to age it in the pouch, but they seem to have kind of heat sealed their pouches. So from who makes amphora, why is the name escaping me right now? I'm sure I'll think of it in a minute, and y'all all know it. McBaron. I knew it started with an M. I just couldn't get to it. Anyway, McBaron makes it, and I don't know if that's how they do all their pouches. I don't smoke many McBaron blends, but the amphora blends that I've purchased, that's been the case. This is not. I mean, I undid the little piece of tape. Bam. It is open right away. I mean, I could see tobacco right away. So very full pouch. The moisture level on it was just right. I mean, it was ready to smoke. I didn't need any drying. It may have been a tad on the dry side, even for a blend. I'm kind of feeling it, just feeling around the rest of the pouch, because this is really more of a first impressions than a real review. But I will kind of tell you what I think about it as we go along. So let's get to the kind of the bag note, or the pouch note, or the tin note itself. I know you're all relieved that I covered my ugly mug there. All right. Yeah, I smell an American blend with a little bit of Latakia in it. So I pick up the Black Cavendish. The Latakia is very, very light in here. I mean, it's a little reminiscent of HGL, which from what I understand, this is made by Lane Limited, or the Scandinavian Tobacco Group, so wouldn't be too surprised if the components were similar. But this is blended by Russ Willett, so I think that chances of them being the same thing are pretty slim to none. So I'd say the Latakia is pretty light, although I can see some darker leaf in here, but that could be the black Cavendish, or that could be that Turkish. But I smell more sweetness, and so that's the reason why I attribute it to the black Cavendish. I don't really get anything from the Virginias, or anything that I would attribute to a burley smell. Mainly I get a light sweetness. I don't smell a bourbon topping on there at all. I really don't. But there is something that's sweet that it seems like an unnatural sweetness. You know, maybe that is the black Cavendish, or maybe it's something else. But anyway, that's what you get there. Let's talk about it. Let's light up. I'm about halfway through a bowl. So let's light it up and kind of tell you what I think on a taste. Good smoke, some sweetness. Mm-hmm. Now, I had heard that this might be a suitable, not necessarily a replacement, like it was going to match it. But that you were going to have a sweet English blend with a bourbon topping that might hit your Frog Morton Cellar checkbox. And there's some definite sweetness in the smoke. And there's something there that reminds me of that sweet Latakia aroma and the sweetness that's in that blend. I can pick up a little bit of the burley, I think. Because there's this other component. Right after you get the sweetness, you get a little kind of this nutty flavor. First half of the bowl, I wouldn't describe it as something that I necessarily liked. There wasn't a ton of flavor. There was some sweetness, but there was something going on that made the smoke a little bitter, in my opinion. Now, this is a first impression, and it's also a cob I haven't smoked in a while. Maybe one that I probably smoked either autumn evening in it last, or one of my cobs. I had some Samuel Galwith 1792 Dark Flake. I think that's what it's called. It's one of their Lakeland blends with the Tonka bean added to it. Maybe it's just 1792 flake. I don't remember. I only smoked that once. I'll smoke it again and possibly post a review of it. I guess what I'm getting at is that first half of the bowl, I'm not sure if what I didn't like was because what I'd smoked in the cob previously, mixing with this tobacco. What I'm getting in the second half is quite enjoyable. The other thing just to note, it's a ribbon cut. It's a very fine ribbon cut, very good ribbon cut. maybe even almost a shag. I like this. Now, it's an aromatic. And there's something, I won't say I've got tongue bite, but it's giving me what I call tongue fatigue. It's kind of similar with Jolly Old St. Nick. Jolly Old St. Nicholas blend. That's a blend I enjoyed. But I could only smoke one bowl of it a day. It didn't burn my tongue, but it fatigues it, if that makes any sense. I mean, it is bite. It's tongue bite. That's what it is. It's just not making my tongue hot or on fire. It's just giving it a coating that... Anyway, it'd be gone in an hour or two. But I couldn't put more tobacco in my pipe and smoke more if I wanted to 30 minutes from now. And I don't do that very often. I maybe smoke 4 or 5 bowls a week. So a week, not a day, a week. Anyway, I kind of like this blend. It's very good. I would like to give some shout outs here in my video. There are a few people that I have really enjoyed watching their videos as of late. So one, I'm guessing that if you found my channel, you have seen this channel as well, just because he's got more subscribers than me, but that doesn't mean much. And I also see a lot of the people who comment on my channel comment on his as well. But if there's a chance you haven't seen his channel, Mel the Garbage Man Piper, you got to go see his videos. Talk about a man who's, number one, generous in his praise and his shout outs with others, but also the guy's just having fun making videos, and they're fun to watch because he's having fun. And so anyway, y'all go check out his channel if you haven't found it. So Mel the Garbage Man, and I believe his channel is the Garbage Man Piper, but he's great. Second is Road Glide Sully, and I found Road Glide because he and I were in a shout out given by the Padre Piper, and probably most of you who have found this channel have found it because of the Padre Piper. And Road Glide and I were kind of shouted out at the same day, and his are really fun to watch because he's very often doing experiments with tobacco or with other things, and so he's got a kind of a background of doing home brewing as well, and so he's just kind of seems like a natural tinker and experimenter with things, and some of the things that he's trying to do with infusing whiskey in tobacco to kind of try and get something similar to Frog Morton Cellar is very intriguing. Also, some of the things that he's doing with I think he's calling his Granddad series, where he's kind of trying to find and smoke the tobaccos his grandfather might have smoked. And so y'all go check out his channel if you haven't seen him. And then Eric Wrana, I believe that's how you say his name. He's a teacher down in Texas. I want to say he's in San Antonio area from some of the things that he's mentioned in the past in his videos, but again, just another one of those good characters online. Somebody who's having fun making videos and is gifted at getting in front of a camera and talking. So, and a lot of good information as well, especially if you're someone coming from the aromatic background and you're thinking about dipping your toe into English or straight Virginia blends. I think Eric is probably a great resource because he is going down that road as well. So with that, those are a few of my shout outs, some guys that I really enjoy watching their videos. And there are a couple others that I've watched recently, and I may mess up the name just because I didn't write it down and didn't memorize it right before it came on, but Dan Deep South Texas, or Dan from Deep South Texas. I don't know. I'll put a link in the bottom, but he's got an interesting channel, young guy, and he's got a very cool channel. Doing a little bit of pipe work on his. I think mostly restoration, if I'm correct. But he's a good resource, fun to watch. So with that, I've kind of already run on 16 minutes, and I'm sure some of that wasn't all that interesting for you guys. But this is my take on Missouri Meerschaum's American Patriot, and I like it. It's a good blend. I'll smoke a few more bowls and maybe post a video once I've done that on exactly what I smell, taste, everything, and I'll burn it in some briars. But for a first impression, I think there's a lot going for it. Tongue bite's the only thing that's bothering me. Well, guys, so long, Earl of Pipes. I'll see you next time.